Beautiful.
Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name's Helen Webster. I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott and our fabulous guest, our first guest for a belated start in 2025 is the formidable
Anna Sexton, award-winning startup coach. Thank you so much for having me, ladies.
Award-winning,
global
I'm so excited.
Global,
no messing here.
We've got a story today.
So, massive Happy New Year to everybody. It's been a while since we've been on, but we had loads going on, which we'll talk about as we go along.
Yeah.
But it's great to be back, and it's lovely to have everybody here. And I didn't think we could start with a better success this year than when you hear Anna's story. So Anna has been a previous guest, so you might recognize her face from before. And we always say, great things happen when you come on our show.
It's so true.
Sorry, Anna, just as you drank
your coffee out. It's thanks to us, Anna. Come on.
I mean, this is the only reason I'm here, to thank you, ladies. And, actually, no shade. Helen, I definitely wouldn't have been here because we know each other from School for Social Entrepreneurs. And when it was allowed, we saw each other at a distance during lockdown, and you said, I do this BNI thing. You might enjoy it. They're a bit of a laugh. Then I met Sandra, and even when I was explaining to my friend the other day what a great teacher you are, Sandra, I learned to do a very basic Spanish with Sandra through her courses. Just the confidence in kind of overcoming just that little thing that all builds up, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, and I think communicating in a language is one of the best things you can do to build your confidence as a person as well, So well done, you.
Brill. Sandra is actually with us. She dropped her phone, so you've got this.
And I know people think I've lost my mind. I've aged terribly since I was last on the show, so I've been forced to implement a silk screen. No, I dropped my phone. I'm getting a new cover for it tomorrow, so the screensaver thing's a bit damaged. So this is why I look sort of a bit odd or a bit.
No, you look all right. You look perfect. You just got
it's
a
sort
little
of like you've got like a sort of 1970s vignette around your face.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, no. Anyway, so shout out to the kids, any young people, little people who've done fabulous things this week, this year, whenever. So, Sani, are you going first? Anna, you go first because you've got someone.
Oh, go on, Anna, you go
first. I've got Hope Smith and Faith Smith, because both of them are really rocking it, particularly Hope. She's not been very well and she's really giving it a go at school. And Faith is homeschooling herself. So she is super smart, and she's really trying to get all her curriculum done on her own with her mum and dad's help. But she's really going for that at the moment.
Oh,
well done, Faith and Hope. Amazing. And what gorgeous names as well.
They're gorgeous children as well. We love them.
That's lovely. Well, I was going to say, shout out to a lot of young people getting taught at home at the moment still for a variety of reasons. And I've got a little boy coming just to do half an hour Spanish on Saturday morning. And it's not in school hours, but they don't mind because he said it's okay that he's accessing a curriculum. And he's only 8 years old. The dad's dead clued up. He chatted to me on the phone. And he wants him to do a little bit of Spanish. And I said, that's all right. He only needs half an hour because it's expensive for them, And I said, and I'll give you stuff to do in the week. So he was, and I thought, what a lovely attitude, a dead nice kid and everything. So shout out to him. Okay, what about you, Hal?
Ellen Stewart's listening and she says, hello, Anna, winner supreme.
Hi, Ellen.
Oh, have you got loads of mates now, Anna? You didn't know before.
Oh, I've got Ellen's a really old friend. I met her at uni in Liverpool.
She's a real one.
She's not one I bought off Tinterweb.
Okay, not one of these. Oh yeah, she's got a bit of cash in now. We'll stalk her.
You'll be a mate. I'm going to give a shout out to Archie. So Archie is 8 and he just does the most amazing drawings. And Kate sent a picture yesterday. Oh my days, for an 8-year-old, his artwork is phenomenal. So keep going, Archie. Oh, Ellen says she's real. We know you're our babes. We know we were just joking about you. But so keep going with your artwork, and anyone else who's doing something that they love, just keep on doing it, and just take the joy out of it. Just keep taking it, and it makes you feel good to carry on doing it.
Good.
So there you go. Success this week for you personally. Only this week, Anna, because we're going to get on to the other bits later.
Is mega though. You know, I like the little successes. I like to say my little wins.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my little win first then.
Mm-hmm.
So my little win is I made almond milk myself. So I was, so I had no social media. I was off social media, as you know, from September right through to the end of the month in January. And I really enjoyed the break, but I did miss people's birthdays and things like that, because that's the system now, to remind ourselves of things. So I came back on it, and all the business pages went anything, but we stayed steady, which was good. But I've been bombarded with adverts for like an almond milk maker, and it's only 155 quid, and you get it. And I thought, so I Googled it. So I made me own, and it said better than a blender. And I thought, oh, you can do it in the blender. So I made almond milk in the blender, and I soaked these almonds overnight in like a litre of water, and you think, what the hell? And then you put it in the blender. Oh my God. And I put a teaspoon of honey in, that's it. And it's perfect, and it tastes so much better. And they said once you've done it yourself, you won't. I would never buy it again. So I did mean to bring a thing in for you today, Helen, to try and to work, but I didn't get a chance. But I'll bring it in tomorrow. Unbelievable. That's it now. So I've had loads of successes. That's a baby, but that's made me dead happy. That little success I made up with myself. So
brilliant.
What about you, Hal?
I think that I'm alive this week. So I've had this leggy, which everybody's had.
Helen's never been sick ever.
I think it's been 16, 17 years since I've felt as poorly as I have. I've got up and I've carried on and everything like that, but I've had this little niggly cough thing. But today, so I don't take tablets or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I've been on the Manuka honey.
Hang on a minute. A double shot of Lemsip is tablets. They're just dissolved in the Lemsip.
Yeah, so I have a double shot of Lemsip with a vitamin C tablet in now.
Every morning.
No, in the night, because if I have them in the morning, I have to go to sleep, don't I? So I have them overnight. Normally that works brand new. Didn't this time, so I was fuming. So good old Vicks, me Manuka honey. I've been having 3-4 Manuka honeys a day rather than the one I have every day. And today is the first day I feel alive. So that my success is that.
Oh, thank God.
So yeah, that's it.
Do you think maybe being at a very big international education fair somewhere in that down the south might have had an influence on that? There was a lot of people there.
In that there London.
I think I was feeling a little tiny bit not great before I went. I was a bit sleepy. So normally I do, like I'll go to bed and I do sort of a big 24-hour sleep and then I'm all right. But this thing, I just couldn't shift. It just wouldn't disappear. But anyway, I'm magic today, so that's cool. What's your little success? Because your big success.
My little success is I made a new friend through Instagram. We can't quite figure out how we met each other, but she popped over for a cup of coffee this morning and bought a packet of biscuits. And like, brilliant. It's so nice when social media actually turns into like actual real social connection. And we just chatted away for about 2 hours about everything. And then she headed off.
Oh, brilliant. And she brought bickies. Well in.
That's the kind of house guest you want.
Be careful. 100%. Let people get home off social media, but terrifying.
No, cool. She's definitely real. I checked her out. We have friends in common.
But that's all right then. Thank God for that.
No, it wasn't a stranger.
Just some randomer walking past with a packet of biscuits. Coming in, have a cup.
Fine. Come on in.
Go back with a lamb's heart on your doorstep. No.
It's like escalated a bit, mate.
It escalated the minute she said a message on Instagram. I was like,
I know. I could see your brain going. Like
danger. Oh my God.
Not for you, Sandra. It's good. That's probably why you've been off it.
No, it's been lovely, But I've missed me like close friends and that, because I have a lot of friends who live all over the place from the airlines. So it's how we keep in touch, you see, massively. So, but we did get messages. You got a message, didn't you, Helen, asking if I was all right and everything?
Yeah, and I came to Success in the City. So Success in the City got a message saying, "Is Sandra all right? Is she?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, her social media had been hacked." And
I did wonder where you'd gone.
Yeah,
she'd been hacked, and
all
it
the
took
business,
everything away.
went, all the Chataway accounts. I'd had my Facebook 15 years. Chataway, lost everything, couldn't get it back, anything. It was unbelievable. So never mind. But I was dead lucky, Anna, because I thought I was getting a technical wizardry here. Nothing changes. I was really fortunate because I thought, oh God, it's going to impact the business. It didn't at all. And then I just thought, God, is there any point? And I've been saying to people, can I ask how you find me? And they said, we've searched online. I don't pay for any advertising, anything. And someone even rang me up today and they said, are you the Spanish lady? I said, well, actually, we teach lots of languages, but it just gets recommended and that's it.
Yeah.
So,
word of mouth is the best way, and people know who you are and what you do. So, Lorraine Donahue Connell Coaching is listening, and she says she's laughing me socks off here at the conversation. There you go.
This is how we live, Lorraine.
Lorraine's from Ireland, aren't you? You're phoning in for listening in from Ireland. So hi, love.
Yeah.
In Ireland, where if there's an empty seat on the bus, someone gets on and sits next to you and chats to you. In the countryside, imagine that. They'd be like that. More stranger danger. They're all dead friendly in Ireland.
Super.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, we're moving on. This or that we're going to play. Okay. Am I going first or are you going first?
Yeah, you go first. I forgot we even played this.
I know. I knew you'd forgotten the format, but that's all right. Lorraine says exactly. You are all dead friendly in Ireland. Okay. This or that. I'm going to ask Anna first. Anna, a sauna or an ice bath?
Ice bath.
Yeah. Sandra, I wonder what the answer to this is going to be.
Frizzy hair or renal failure. That's what I've just got from that.
I know, I thought that as well. I thought your head will go frizzy.
Hairdressers the next day like it is tomorrow. Sauna.
Yeah. Ice bath for me.
Yeah. God help us.
I know, I've been following, Anna's been going to the wild sauna, on the dock.
Oh, the one on the dock, we said.
Yeah.
I told Helen about it. She said, shall we go? And I went, well, I thought you might like to go.
Yeah. I thought she'd send me the message because she thought, oh, should we do that? And I went, here you go. And she went, I thought it might be all right for you.
I meant for her, not me, obviously.
Yeah.
2 weeks in the Royal, no thanks.
I love it. There's a lot of medical concerns about strangers, water, heat. It's excellent.
Yeah. Everything full on stranger danger, isn't it?
Yes, there's levels.
I'm such a city.
She's wrapped up in her little vignette things, bubble. She's all right.
She's got an oxygen tent at home.
Go on, San. What's your one?
My suggestion. Oh, yeah, I have to suggest one as well. Okay, fair enough. And novel or factual book?
Factual book.
Hell?
Tricky. Depends on the situation of where I am. Holiday, service station or airport, because the service station's my new airport where I have to buy a new novel when I'm going away. I just get like a little trashy novel. But no, I don't read it while I'm driving. But my new one, a factual book, something, a little learning or something.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, just stop a minute. Lorraine's my best mate now. So Lorraine goes to a mobile here at Kilbeg Pier. Oh, Loch Horeb. Oh, in Galway. I've been to Galway. Galway's beautiful. And she'd do a sauna.
Yeah, okay. Lorraine's into the wild swimming as well.
Yeah, belter. Sorry, San. Go on. What about you, novel or?
Oh, it's all right. Well, I always like factual books. And then for escapism, I decided over Christmas, I did.
Hang on. For escapism. I'm just going to highlight that to the rest of the world. For escapism, go.
Well, I finished Wild Swans, which is the Chinese epic regeneration of women. And then, so years ago, I'd read War and Peace, but I only got 3/4 of a way through and hadn't finished it. So I did Helen, it was amazing. Audible, it's 60 hours. So I started it in Christmas, just finished it last week. I literally could have wept at the end of the book. Honest to God. And I thought, I don't know why people you are not going to like this now with the coaching and everything. No one needs to do any of that. They don't need self-help books. They need to read the works of the old literary masters, because they discuss the human condition, every type of character and every type of issue that is.
But
it
who's
was
got 60
amazing.
hours to listen to War and Peace?
Oh, I loved it. I had it on the car on the way in the
For
morning.
enjoyment.
Natasha! And then I had to go and do a day's work and then wait to get back in the car to put it on to come home.
So everyone else reads like Bridget Jones' Diary for a bit of a
I'm in agreement. Like, someone got me Anna Karenina once, and I was like,
Tolstoy,
I was really like, shit, thank.
No.
Is it because I'm But it's one of the best books that's ever written. I didn't know, like,
Tolstoy again. Go on.
It reads like an episode, like, it's brilliant literature, but his ability to understand human condition, it's like reading EastEnders.
Thank you.
Is it really, Anna?
Yes, it is. And as well, it's all about the Napoleonic Wars in War and Peace. So I looked at Anna Karenina and I thought I might do that next, but I'll do like a more factual book and come back to it. So I listened to some podcasts over the weekend. Honest to God, I absolutely loved it.
Ellen says they're called classics for a reason. Yes, Ellen, correct.
Yes, they are.
Your gang,
You didn't me say it on Easter.
You're on the art literature gang, I can tell by it all, yeah.
There we go. Anyway.
There we go. Anyway, okay, my one now. Okay. Anna. Okay, this will come when you listen a bit later when Anna tells this story. This will come out. Okay. A cold destination or a hot destination for a weekend trip?
Ooh, well, I was actually talking about trying skiing for the first time next year with someone today. So I don't know any, because they said where, and I was like, I don't know. Where do people go skiing? So she lives in Switzerland. So I'd go and see my friend Marianne in Basel, and somehow she'd get me to go skiing for a weekend.
100%.
Sandra, for a weekend.
For a weekend somewhere cold, actually, believe it or not, like a city break or that, if it's for a weekend, there's no point going somewhere hot. If you're going somewhere hot, you want to be able to lie out and go for at least a week, if not a fortnight. So I'll take somewhere cold if it's a weekend break, defo. Okay.
I'm going to go weekend break. And skiing, Anna, is the best holiday that you'll ever go on in your life.
Your life.
Yeah. Hands
amazing.
Down.
It's fantastic.
Hands down, the best thing. The après ski is just unbelievable. Just the best thing ever. Cool. Go on, San, your go.
Mulled wine in the mountains. Okay, last one. Okay.
No, second to last one.
Sorry, second to last one. Okay. Right. Emu or ostrich? And I'm talking visiting a safari.
Not a puppet.
No, a real one. If you're going to a safari park or like a zoo type things.
I know. Well, see, when we were young, we went to Colchester Zoo and an emu attacked my nan. So
there we are. It's an ostrich there, Anna. I bet she picks an ostrich now. Go on, love.
We did go somewhere where I made friends with an emu. So,
yeah, Helen, you thought that comparison was was unrelated to anything, didn't you? And look what's happened now. Anna's got two anecdotes about each animal.
I would pick the ostrich so I could have a little word and like just clarify if there was any issue with my nan, just to like
any malice.
There was beef, definitely.
I'd like it to see an emu because I think they run really quickly, and ostriches put their head in the car at the safari park and try and peck you. It's terrifying. So it's an emu for me. Plus, I used to watch Rod Hull and emu when I was a child. Go on.
I just think that's the worst this or that I've ever heard in my life.
Why? I think.
Well, I wonder who hasn't prepared for this show.
I never do, but I think it's really. Well, Anna's got an emu and an ostrich story, so it was quite appropriate, actually.
Look,
Ellen disagrees. Yeah, this is Ellen. It's really not. I promise you.
Oh God,
ostrich or emu? I've no idea, and I don't really
it's a good
care.
question.
They're very closely. They're quite similar. I
the
believe.
Same bird in a different outfit.
Only like France and Spain, which are completely different cultures. But carry on.
Anyway, I'm bypassing that because it was rubbish.
I thought it was excellent.
Anna. Oh, look, I sound like I smoked 20 ciggies. Anna, would you rather travel? Ellen's put there's no emu or ostrich emoji.
What's he for? There's no emu
there's no emu or
I did tell people it was going to be chaos. Oh my God.
Right, go on, Hal. Right, next question. What is it now?
Next question. Anna, would you rather travel by boat or train?
That's tough.
See, think of that as a question compared to would you prefer an emu or an ostrich? Mine's well better. Go on.
Sensible,
I
normal.
would say, that's so tough because I was literally looking at the Orient Express today.
Oh no, that's a different kettle of fish.
So I would say train, but then I would sneak in and say, well, I'd be on the way to get a boat because I do love a boat as well. I'm quite.
Is it boat or ship?
Oh, I definitely like the Mersey ferry, if that's what you mean. I mean, there's obviously a massive category of floating vessels out there, so.
Yeah, well, no one wants a
floating vessel or whatever train you want.
Yeah, well, if it's a catamaran or the Orient Express, it's a train. If it's the train down to the Mersey Rail from town to Garston, no disrespect to Garston or anywhere for that matter, or a cruise ship, the ship wins.
Yeah, true.
So I'm going to say ship, boat for me.
Boat.
What about you, Helen?
I'd love to go on the bullet train.
Oh, in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chinese trains were cool, actually.
Yeah. So Vicky Johnson, who's a good friend of the three of us, is listening. Hiya, gorgeous, gorgeous person. How are you? We hope you're well.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, Sandra, your last go. Make it normal.
Well, quite frankly, I'm insulted. I won't say penguin or puffin then, which was my next one. Okay.
Anna, that's a bit better because they are a bit different.
Would you see, it's so subjective. Anna, would you rather coach a corporate client around business or a client who just comes to you around personal matters and personal development?
That's better.
Which is more boring.
Oh, no, I mean, neither of them are boring. It's just different things, really. I mean,
no, I meant Helen with me emu questions. Sorry, go on, carry on about your clients.
I'd say if I say I prefer the personal one, we'll probably end up talking about business. And if I say the executive coaching, they're always going to end up talking about their life. So, go for the executive coaching.
Yeah.
I can't apply that to myself because I've never been allowed to coach anyone.
You're a natural coach, Sandra. All teachers are.
Really not. Ostrich or emu.
Yeah, well, tangent.
No, I'm a coach. I'm definitely not a therapist.
No, you're a good coach.
They wouldn't let me be a therapist.
No.
They'd have a lot to say about the stranger danger and the difference between an emu and an ostrich. There's a lot that could
be safe. Whoever she was coaching would be safe, wouldn't they?
It'd be very safe. I'm very safety conscious nowadays.
100%.
Go on, Hell.
So I just
you've done lots of mentoring in that.
I've done lots of mentor. I do like the sort of personally one where you can see a massive change in somebody over they might have like a little something, and you can change and help and support that little something, which then enables them to go on to do great things. So that's and I do believe you can do that in executive coaching, but I think somebody who's sort of executive coaching level is pretty good. I like teaching young people and helping a young person to just believe in themselves a little bit more to then go on to do great things. So I would say that, yeah. Craig Carden is listening. Craig has been a guest of ours, and he said you could you're listening, Anna, take the Orient Express from Paris to Venice and then pick up a boat to tour Venice.
Oh my God. I mean, that's like the perfect itinerary, isn't it, really? Let's go.
Yeah.
I've booked for Venice for 4 days at Easter.
Oh, that's one of my favorite, most magical places. And it's so weird. I love it when it's really raining. Like I feel like it's just so, because I've been when it's very hot and it's beautiful, but it's not as like moody.
Yeah.
Is that a cat?
Yeah. So my cat hates everybody, doesn't it? Hates humans, hates everybody until I come on here. And then as soon as I come on here, he just goes, meow, meow, meow.
Tell Anna what the cat's called.
The cat's called Shuey, after Michael Schumacher.
Yeah. Great.
And he's around somewhere. The dog's here. She's been good for a change. And the cat's somewhere there. Yeah. So anyway, we've done all this, all that. Right. We have got the gorgeous Anna Sexton with us, award-winning startup coach, who is going to share everything with us. She has been on before, as I said before, but has had a massive, massive, massive success.
Yeah.
This is our first show in 2025. And I just thought, let's start like on a bang, really. Yeah. So over to Anna. She knows the score. Sandra and I'll just interrupt you at the same time with the same question, because that's what we do.
Yeah, I'm going to nip over to you, actually, because I don't know all of this that's happened. So
what's the first question you want to ask, Sandra? What do you want to know?
No, I want you to talk about you, as Helen said, about what's happened recently and your big success.
Okay, so I have been awarded a Global Startup Coaching Award for being the best startup coach in the education technology space. Wow. So that's a big mouthful for anyone listening, but the context was, you know, when you're running a business and you're like, oh, who do I like working with? Oh, I really like that lot at Dohe. I'll send them an email and see if there's any more coaching, because it was such a good experience in the summer last year. Hi, have you got any more work? No, but would you like to apply for an award? And, you know, like Liverpool's a brilliant city for lots of awards, but sometimes you have to put yourself forward for it, right? So this is a good note to yourself if you're watching. If someone invites you to do something, just send. I was like, okay. And I got an email back saying, well done, you've been shortlisted for this competition. I was like, oh, I thought it was an award. And the competition was 10 coaches from all around the world that were shortlisted from a global field to compete in 10 weeks, each matched with a founder who runs their own startup in EdTech, some in England, some in America. And we had to sort of sprint in this technique with coaching and, you know, the kind of way that people do. And it was such a challenge because coaching is my thing, and I blend it with mentoring and solution focused hypnotherapy, but it was very strict. I couldn't mentor him, so I wasn't allowed to open up my phone book. And so Ryan's product is called Balance, and it's an app for mental health benefits for students in universities. And I'm like that's my field, isn't it? Those So
were you matched with him, Anna, or were you already matched with him?
No, they matched me.
They matched you?
It was a perfect match. He's also from Essex originally. He's just really driving something that's really important to him and the team, and obviously will have massive benefits. But we had to report on what his success was, whether he was successful, whether I was successful in my coaching, you know. I got marked on how well I worked with the team at Dohe. So they're a global team from Korea, the Philippines, England. So, and then everything went to the judges. So a coaching expert from Cambridge and 2 specialists in ed tech from Israel. They're like the number 1 ed tech startup people. And yeah, they interviewed Ryan. He had a set of criteria. So it was like a proper, it wasn't like, oh, here's an award. Oh, look, here's my award.
How many people vote for you?
And it, yeah, I mean, I will say, like, if you're listening, this is an exceptional circumstance. So the duplication part of what I did is if someone offers you an opportunity that you don't really know what it is, and you obviously like the people, apply for it, and also have a strategy. So when they said you've been shortlisted for a competition and the winning prize is $100,000, I just decided it was my money, which again,
so this is the mad bit for some people.
Yeah, it is a bit mad.
This is my favorite bit.
You know, like,
yeah,
nowadays manifestation is a big conversation. Back in 2002, 2003, I read The Artist's Way. There's a thing about vision boards and writing down every day what you want to achieve in the present tense, like I am the $100,000 winner. But it's not as easy as just saying, oh, this is mine. I did my own coaching process on myself. So I had a criteria that I completed every day, like doing reps in the gym for your brain.
Mm.
And that included, like, I've got this app on my phone called Illuminate, and it's got a little meditation about going for your big goals, but also what happens if you don't get your big goals, and then making a choice each day to move closer to that goal, bearing in mind you could fail. So it's quite a pragmatic approach to goal setting, I think, because sometimes it can seem a bit woo-woo and a bit unobtainable. I think, does that explain it?
Yeah, sort of, for people. It's very much visualizing everything and saying it's going to happen and believing it's going to happen. But you can't just magic yourself the award, can you? That's what you were saying. You had to work hard and follow a process to get there, didn't you?
Yeah, and also that I actually read the rules of the game, I think, because it was very explicit what I could and couldn't do. I did have to sit on my hands a lot, because I think, you know, we know each other through a networking organization, and it's all about, hey, do you know this person? Oh, let me put you in touch. Like that's social networking. That's network marketing, isn't it? Like, oh, I can refer you to my friend. Oh, I can do this for you. So not being able to do that was so frustrating, but good for me.
To help him, yeah.
The thing as well is we're all sort of like fixers, aren't we? We want to help and support each other. So, oh yeah, I can do that, isn't it? You know, I know this person. You know, it's that sort of thing, isn't it? But I want you to tell us about the spreadsheet.
Yes, and actually, Ellen, if she's still listening, will know this is really true. So, a guy in the community who was part of the competition team created this really amazing spreadsheet to track the outcomes of setting a goal, what got in the way, like a sort of methodology, like a science. I couldn't change the spreadsheet. I couldn't really, it was really small. So even when I tried to pull it out on my computer, I couldn't really see it. And I made it a massive, big barrier for myself. And although I am dyslexic, you can always find a way around it. So part of it was saying, look, I really don't understand how to use this. And actually, they were so nice and kind. They showed me some tricks and tips, which now I feel like I'm an Excel spreadsheet whiz because I've got 2 finger moves. And actually, that conversation led me to think, well, okay, I can only do my best with this document. It's so not my style. But I wrote a blow-by-blow account of everything I did as a coach with him. So it would be like, and then I decided to use this tool. I used this tool because I just didn't know if what I had done was enough. And And actually, they said that was the thing that kind of added to the whole thing. It was
the detail.
So, like, I was so obsessed with like getting it wrong that, in fact, I kind of got it right for me.
Brilliant.
So Ellen is still listening, and Ellen comes up with a really valid point.
Ellen.
So Ellen says, what she doesn't like about the idea of manifesting and the universe giving you something is it that it takes away from your achievement, and you won that by your hard work. And massively, you know, it's lots of people say, oh, we put that into the universe and the universe will give you back if what you think, you know, goes back. Okay, I want the 6 winning lottery numbers. It's not going to happen. You have to set an intention or set a goal, and then you have to, what you've just said, Anna, you have to work towards that. So you put it out there, this is what I want to achieve, but you can't sit back and put your feet up and wait for it to come to you. You've then got to go and get that, haven't you? You know, and Ellen says, you know, you did that belt and braces, and you did, and you've justified your time, and, you know, I use this method because of this, and I use this because of this. And that is your knowledge and expertise from over all of the years that you've done it, to then be in that position to win. So Des Flanagan, who's our you know, co-host, and he jumps in on us. He always says it takes 20 years to become an overnight success.
100%. And I'm not diminishing that. So I think, like, if you want to like get really metaphysical about it, or like what my like manifesting has an ING set of letters at the end of the word. Like, it's an active, it's not passive. It's to make the decision is a thought that you put into action. So it's a very active state. But also what I would say is, like, because I have hypnotherapy as one of my practices, a lot of it was making sure that I got enough rest. A lot of it was like, okay, just go for a walk. Because, you know, we really only had an hour and a half each week to work with each other. But like a lot of the rest of the time, I was like, have I done enough? What else could we do? Like, he was working really hard as well. Ryan managed to pull off in the end of the 8 weeks of coaching and there was 2 weeks of diagnosis. He got a contract in America at a college for his app, and an UK higher education site, and a college down in Essex.
Wow. Like,
amazing.
In a way, like, or like, I know, Helen, you love reading like books in a similar way to me. We were reading Tim S. Grover, Winning.
That's the one I wanted to know.
He's intense. Like, I listened to it on an audiobook. I'd be going out and I felt like he was shouting at me like a sports coach. I'd be crying listening to the audiobooks, going, I'm going to try harder, Tim. I'm going to go for it. Like, it's like he's so like American, but American motivational. He was Kobe Bryant's coach and Michael Jordan.
Oh, wow.
He was talking about the different approaches, and Ryan is very smart. He's very, very, like, he's a red goal orientated person and very driven by money.
Yep.
I'm more yellow. So I'm like community, touchy feely, everyone get round together and, like, you know, not sing them by but you know what I mean? So I realized that I had to run faster than him. So when he said he'd done 50 outreach in the day, if I had genuinely done 60 cold calls or whatever I do in my business, I would say, oh yeah, I've done 60. And then we'd move on, because some people we coach, they need to see us show up earlier, be on the field of play earlier. So yeah.
Amazing.
That was so, you know, how did they announce it? Was it a bet? Was there a big crowd? Were all the other people there? What happened?
Yes, it was at Bet. So Bet Global Live is at Excel down in the East London dock area, and it is pretty much most of the Excel Centre. Like, it was massive.
Yeah.
It's huge, isn't it?
So exciting. Like Meta, Canva, Padlet, all the like cool stuff. Like, I just, like, if you were a kid these days, how cool is learning? They had their own stand, beautiful stand actually, Dohe, and I got there early because I can't not be on, like, I hate to be late. So then we had to wait for them to announce it. Oh my God, honestly, I kept saying, I know that I'm anxious. I know that I'm anxious.
Oh no.
No, I'm not having a heart attack. I know I'm not. I was like, ooh. And do you know what was so lovely? All of the coaches that were in the competition were there as well. And there was such a nice atmosphere. And everybody said that none of us had really looked at what everybody else did because we didn't want to compete in that way.
Yeah.
It's such a coaching thing to do.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of chats with people, and then like, this is so funny, like, because I was part of a group that won £50,000 on TV. We did a crowdfunding project, and we're sitting in the pub waiting for ITV to film us, sitting with this lady, and I said, look, we better have a freaking smiling face if we lose. We don't want to look like bad losers on TV. Like that, like you've got to be like, yeah, come on, everyone. Like, and when they announced the bronze award, so it was Veronica Sucha, she's lovely, and she got her award, and then it was Tina Neve, so she's the second winner. And by that point, I was like, I'll just say my name. This is how it's going.
Oh, no.
Was your heart just beating so much faster?
But then I was like, you've got to look happy if you don't win.
Oh.
So, yeah, they did. It just all sort of went slow, and it was like my name. And but you know what I'm like? I'm very animated. I was trying to be like,
oh no, you can't.
Full on, clicking your heels and everything.
And there's all these people around you. And I'd already decided what to say. I knew I wanted to thank Ryan. I wanted to thank his team. I already know I want to put some money into the business. That got a massive cheer. And also I thank Terry. So Terry Kim is the founder of Dohe, and he's put his neck on the line by giving an award of this stature globally, but also financially to coaches.
Yeah.
And he's had a lot of flack from it in the startup and entrepreneurship community, saying, why are you giving that money? Why give the money to the coaches? And he's like,
to the small business. Yeah.
Every business, like every bit, if you went through Meta's records or like Twitter or Tesla, there will have been coaches at key points that never got share options.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have maybe asked for it. It's not saying they weren't offered it and it's unfair, but there's often, you do it with grace. You mostly do it for free because you love it. And
it's acknowledging people though as well, isn't it? It's acknowledging. He's done that by acknowledging the contribution, and that award has very much raised the status of coaches and the importance of them. So he's sort of made a big social statement doing that, I think.
Yeah, he's a really generous, thoughtful and disruptive character in the sort of in the ecosystem of entrepreneurship. And he's not what you would expect, like we're sold an image, aren't we, of entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
And actually, we know from our BNI Midas group, we all come in shapes and forms and backgrounds and ages, and I'm
gonna have to switch the fire off. I'm on fire. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you'd have blusher on.
No, seriously, it's just too hot.
That's not like this. Like okay, me, this is not like you. I'm a bit terrified by that. So Ellen's still listening, and she says, Anna, you were so prepared and so brilliant to thank everyone and acknowledge others. So impressed, Anna, you bossed it.
Oh, thanks, Els.
And that was really funny. So I was at Bet on the same day as Anna, and I was on the stand with Lou. And the Wi-Fi in there was dreadful. Like this huge big.
God, it's so funny. It was such a
bad
big
impact. Hey.
And then I got the message from Anna saying I'm on this stand between these times didn't come through. But Mark Barrett had texted me, he said, are you in? Anna, and I went, oh. So I said to the guys, I said, I'm going to go over and see my friend's stand. So they said, okay. So I went over and I said, oh, is Anna here? And they're like, oh, no. And I said, oh, okay. They went, no, she's just won an award. And I went, did she win it? I said, did she come first? And they went, yeah. And I went, like that. And I was like dead excited. And I went, oh, can you just tell Anna that Helen's been over to see her, please? And I was on the other side of the exhibition centre.
That was brilliant. And we kind of met. Well, if it wasn't for Mark Barrett, hi Mark Barrett, we wouldn't have found each other Because you bet, it was busy, wasn't it? It's really big.
Yeah, it's really busy, but it's great. But it was lovely to be able to say well done and amazing, like, you know, on the day that you actually won it, which is ace, isn't it? You know,
and seeing you as well, you were having so much fun doing what you're naturally really good at.
Yeah, I was loving my life. Yeah, I know. Poor Sandra was FOMO.
I had bad FOMO not going this year down to Bet, you know. Because I love it. I love I like getting all the freebies off the stands. Come home with 200 pens, 3 drinking cups, all the rest of it. Was the guy with the inflatable lung again?
The inflatable lung?
Well, you know, like when they do experiments in schools, it's not. They have all like organs for people who are like clever people doing A-level biology and stuff like that. But he was behind the stand for the Lou Interactive Playground several years on the truck, and it was awful because everyone was round the Lou stand, everybody. And then the other people were stood there like twiddling their thumbs. It was mortifying. And there were crowds around it. And but he was all right, wasn't he? He liked to drink though. Do you remember? Because some of the stands had beer. And we
just disappeared, didn't he? And go and go. He was brilliant. He was really.
Was he half cut?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh why? Yeah. He wanted to give us the lung and everything. Yeah.
This is a sort of aspect of Bet that I didn't really see. I mean, I did have a good look.
We met everyone when we went down there, and then
we had an absolute ball there, didn't we?
Did you stay locally? Because it's lovely around there, isn't it?
We've stayed all over. We've had little road trips.
I found a lovely hotel last year in Earl's Court. No, it wasn't Earl's Court. Where was it?
It was in Kensington.
Well, the photos online were beautiful. And God almighty, we went up to the top floor. There was you know, Bet's like the end of January every year. It was a bit later last year. There was a Christmas tree up in there. It was absolutely mental.
It was the weirdest place we'd ever stayed.
Some of those hotels, though, like, honestly, they shouldn't.
I bought the cafetiere and you couldn't believe it.
Sandra comes in with this. We went for, I think, 2 nights. Sandra brings a case that you would take for a 3-week cruise. There was no lift, so the lift went so far, then we had to like go up because we were in the attic, weren't we? We had to carry these cases up the stairs. And I was like, what have you got in there? She goes like that, zip, and gets out a silver cafetiere.
She's basically bought a house.
I need my coffee of a morning. I was like, Jesus.
Put full pack of ground coffee, cafetiere, there we go.
There was coffee everywhere. Ground coffee everywhere, all over the bathroom. It was just horrendous.
Oh no. Some of those,
was an accident with it.
Yeah. So will you do Bet again?
Yeah, but I love Bet. I think Bet's great.
I definitely go back. Honestly,
I think all the young people should go. I think all the kids.
It was very important.
Loads of kids. There wasn't as many this year.
I think it's very important to keep up to date what's going on in ed tech, because if you're in an isolated school somewhere and you think, oh, this is what we do, this is the way, or if you're a teacher in a different way, you know, you're up against it. And I always say we're competing against Sony and Nintendo when we're educating kids. We have to have it interactive. We have to have it fun. If you they hold words around tech, and it doesn't matter how old you are. If you don't get up to date with it, you can't teach effectively anymore for young people. It's as simple as that. The kids expect it, and it's part of their education. They find it weird if it's not included in what they're doing, you know.
100%. 100%. And if you can bring yourself to it in a way that is open-minded, which I appreciate is a luxury because so many teachers are really up against it, and there's so much other things going on in all levels of education. There is like watching some of the young people going round. Like there was some girls that looked like it was like they were out of a movie. They had their little berets on, they had their big bags of stuff, and you just don't know what's going to happen to a young mind at something like that. I took my mum on the second day because she was really excited. And I knew she's been a teacher herself, and also like she wanted to meet the lot from Dohe, and South Korean
which
communities is very family orientated, and they were like, Mr. Terry was talking to my mum, and there's just this lovely feeling of openness and connection. And that's education at its best, isn't it? Whether you're online now or in a classroom or traveling the world learning new things about people, it's all about cultural exchange, isn't it?
Yeah. So did your mum was your mum just blown away about everything?
Yeah, we were saying it was a bit like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory went and had an education party. Yeah, she used it was the first time she used AI to make something. Adobe had this beautiful like corridor where you could walk in and take photos, and then you could use prompt technology to create an image that they printed for you. So she made a bag for her next door neighbor's daughter. So she was all like, "Oh, I've used AI." It's really cool.
That, I mean, it's just ace, isn't it? It's you know, we are so lucky, you know, with technology. We have to use it in a correct way, but we are so lucky with some of it. And I think for your mum to embrace it. But tell us about when you went home and you had the check and what your dad wanted you to do, which is dead cute.
So we finished with Bet, and then there was a function that all the winners had to go to, which was really lovely, nice to connect with different people. And I got a cab back to my mum and dad's house in Bromley, and my dad's not so well, and he was just like, "Oh, this is so great," because like the big check is there, like massive. So it's about, I'll just show you that, because obviously I can show you.
Yeah.
How cute is that? He wanted to take it around the close where they live and show all the neighbours, but it was like 9 o'clock.
I love that. I just think that's the cutest thing ever.
He must have been so proud, because can I say something, Anna, though? It's not like a win where you buy a bingo ticket. It's not a win like that. It is an award that you've worked for and won. Do you know what I mean? And the work you've provided has won you that. It's almost like a bursary, if you think, that you've had to work towards, you know, and you've earned it. It wasn't just like a randomly won thing.
No, 100%. And I think that's like, this is why I'm really careful. Like, you know, I posted that video about this time last year. Like, I'd had some mentoring. They're like, look, your turnover isn't very high. You know, don't be so proud to apply for universal credit. It's not, you know, you've paid your taxes. I mean, I did it because I was in a situation where that year it hadn't been great for me in business. And I'd pitched in 2023 for over £500,000 worth of work, like contracts, jobs, you name it. I got second in one. The lady said, it's the best interview I've seen anyone give ever. And I said, you've taken the other person because they're operational. She said, yep. I was like, oh God, I'm even agreeing that you've hired someone else. Like, you know. So I think what I would hope people take from this, of course, if you're a coach and you're in the EdTech space, apply for the next round of funding, because it's open. It's an award that anyone can put themselves forward for, and you may get shortlisted. Why not put yourself into it? But it's the process. So I think I've coached for a long time. I started coaching in 2009, officially 2010, sorry. And so many people thought it was weird. They were like, what are you doing that for? That's just weird. Especially in the arts. They're like, well, no one needs that. And now most people are adding coaching to their toolkit because it is just a tool. And a lot of people are making a huge difference in their coaching in their families or in the schools they work in. So I actually was talking to one of the other coaches today. He's based out in Ghana. We were talking about, what if a country was like using coaching in their parliament? Like, you know, like just getting like proper big things. If everybody could learn these basic communication skills, like what a better world we would live in.
100%.
So I'm lucky that I chose something that has turned out over the decades to be something that's really important, but could have just fallen by the wayside. It could have just been a trend, couldn't it?
But you've invested in yourself massively. You know, you've done loads of courses, you've done, you know, programs, you haven't sort of said, oh, I've done this little bit of a coaching course and then sat back. You know, you have done loads and loads and loads to enhance your thing. So Elena Lopez is listening. She says coaching is a tool. I totally agree. And Lorraine Donahue-Connell Coaching says, yes, Anna incorporated all of her learnings and experience and earned her award.
Yeah.
Inspiring, as coaching is not an easy area to succeed in. Yeah.
No.
Yes. Thank you so much, ladies. These are my Unleash the Power Within Tony Robbins, like.
Oh, right.
Woo,
Okay.
Gorge. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to shout out. Oh, we're going to have a red face moment, a very quick red face. I've got one just from
One
before.
house.
So we were watching House of Games.
House of Games.
What's that?
She's frozen.
We
don't know. Oh, she's come back to us now. I was just House of Games and I was waiting to hear the next thing that happened. I've not even heard of it. Have you got a red face, Anna, while Helen's waiting to come back?
What, like a recent one?
Or an embarrassing moment? Oh, we've got you back, Helen. Anna was just thinking of one. You carry on then. House of Games, go on. What happened?
The House of Games was on. The answer was Dale Winton on one of the questions. And I said to Phyllis, oh my God, I said, that's dead weird. I said, I haven't seen him on anything for ages. He said, that's because he's dead. I didn't know he died.
It was awful. He died. And let me tell you, he was literally the face of British Airways. He was over everything. We were so loved. We had big cardboard cutouts of him in the crew room. Yeah. Everything. Yeah. Dale Winton.
So that was my red face. Yeah.
Supermarket sweet.
Yeah. So
at least you didn't say to like a member of his family.
Yeah.
Anna, have you got one?
I guess actually I pronounced someone's name incorrectly because it is of Irish origin, and it was a little bit embarrassing because I thought it was, I can't even say it because my dyslexic brain. But actually it was interesting because it was in a group of people that I'm mentoring, and we were talking about how first impressions count and how actually if you get someone's name wrong, that could actually ruin your relationship. Like, from the beginning. But this guy, I don't even know him. He was really gracious, and like, because I said, I'm not the first whatever to do that. Yeah. And we role played something together that actually demonstrated you can turn it back. So that was really, I'm often embarrassed how I say people's names because I don't always read them correctly.
That's okay, but if it's got a different spelling or something as well, it makes different sounds, doesn't it? Phonetically. Well, I haven't really got any, which is not like me, but I have got one. So at Christmas time, I did the parsnips first of all. I normally meet sons here and he opens the door and sorts my mother out and all the rest of it when she arrives, and then my auntie and uncle come with me cousins, all the rest of it. Anyway, and I love doing the dinner. However, this year, I talk about the absence of someone makes a difference who just gets drinks and things. So I was sorting my mum out, and I opened the cooker, and the parsnips were like pieces of coal put out on the tray, honest to God. And it was like, there's no parsnips today. And I had only bought one bag that I'd peeled and everything, and I'd done them all, because I always make loads so they take food home with them and everything, honest to God. So that was the story of Christmas. And my mum, when everyone came, she went, oh, Sandra's struggling a bit, she's burnt the parsnips as each person arrived. And then I got a duck a few days. I made her like a few dinners because she wasn't well, my mum. So I sent these cooked meals round for her, and she said, oh, the duck was delicious. I must introduce you to gravy browning.
Cheeky.
We were howling. So that was the parsnips. Were definitely my red face, because I've had every Christmas dinner I've had no bother with the past 5 years, and then they were burnt to a frazzle. You couldn't eat them. They were just like charcoal. So that was my red face at Christmas time.
Brilliant. I love that. Shout out to the grown-ups, any grown-ups who've done amazing things. I'm going to give a very quick shout out to Thomas Furnival, who is my cousin, and Liv, his partner. They had baby Oliver arrived yesterday. He arrived last night.
How lovely.
And he is absolutely gorgeous. So they just sent a photo. So I just want to wish Liv, because she had to have a C-section. So just hope Liv's all right, and Thomas, and they're just going to be gorgeous because they're just two little young gorgeous humans. So yeah, so I'm giving a shout out to them.
Go on, Anna.
Well, I think we should say thank you to all the lovely adults that have joined us this evening and have made lots of active contribution in the chat. It's good to see that there's humans interacting on the social. So thanks very much, ladies.
Well, I'd like to
and gentlemen. There was a gentleman as well, wasn't there? Apologies, and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'd like to shout out to my cousin because it's his birthday today, and there's 5 months between us. So for 5 months of the year, he's made up because he's like, oh, I'm older than him. But he's 57 today. So we're the same age. So I love that. So ha, Martin. There we go.
Oh, gorgeous. Tom's listening in from New Orleans. So big shout out.
Hello, Tom. I haven't spoken to Tom for ages.
Wow.
Hello, Tom. Yeah.
New Orleans. That is such a reach. I love that. That's one of the seasons.
Yeah, he's been our guest.
Can I come and visit you, Tom, when I come to America in September?
Yeah, that'd be ace.
All right, stranger danger, but carry on. Only joking, Tom. This relates to an earlier conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very quickly, what book are you reading or podcast are you listening to? Anna.
Simon Squibb, The Dream Book. And I don't know why, but every time I listen to it on whatever platform I'm on, it just makes me cry. It makes me very happy that I do what I do. And he's a really great down-to-earth guy that's doing a lot of good, and it makes me very happy. He's the guy that goes around the street saying, what's your dream?
Oh, cool. I've just written that down. I love that. Sandra, what are you listening to, reading?
All right, at the risk of sounding really snobby now, as we've just dealt with War and Peace, I'm listening to Guy de Maupassant, Bellamy in French. All right, let's move on.
Oh, brilliant.
Wow.
Can you lend it to me when you finish, please?
So I'll forward it to you because it's on Audible.
Oh, thank you. I'm listening to The Anxious Generation.
Oh, that's the one I want.
Is an unbelievable book that I believe that every single person should read. It's unbelievable. Honestly, everybody should read
Generation.
it. Yeah.
Because I've got a credit because War and Peace took so long. I got another month's credit. So I'm 2 up. So I thought, I'll ask Helen what that one is she's reading.
The author's it's in the other room because I've got the actual hard
book as well. Okay.
Unbelievable. Anna, we are going to say a massive thank you to you, a massive congratulations for all of your hard work has paid off.
Mega
and
success.
You can be whatever you want to be. And I just love you for coming on and sharing your story with such enthusiasm with us. Sandra, it was great for us to be back, I think.
I know.
Lovely evening. And Anna, I'm going to hand it over to you for a closing quote. Or a little mantra that you live by, or a little something.
Oh, I think it's attributed to Margaret Mead. Whenever there's a groups of small citizens together, they can change the world.
I like that.
I've probably misquoted it, but it's that idea that don't ever think you can't change something. You can.
Yeah, I love that. Brilliant. Oh, my Uncle Ron's listening and he says, well done, success in the city.
We're back, Uncle Ron, now. We're back now. We got through the Ofsted. We're moving forward.
So we're going to say a massive thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you to everybody for commenting. It was lovely to have you with us. And we will see everybody next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
So good to be on. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.